Now, if the Egyptian government hoped the momentum behind the anti-Mubarak protests was slowing, they've been proved wrong today as hundreds of thousands of people poured into Cairo's Tahrir Square, demanding that the president step down. The crowds were as large as at any time since the demonstrations began more than a fortnight ago. Our international editor, Lindsey Hilsum, is in Cairo. Lindsey.
John, today was as big as any. I think everybody was surprised by the huge turnout. And they're still there now in the square after dark. One of the news agencies is estimating that there may be 250,000 people there. And in a very important development, some are not in the square but outside the Parliament building. They're staging some kind of demonstration there. That will annoy the authorities a lot because it means that this is not contained. There have also been demonstrations in Alexandria, and we're told that there are some strikes amongst workers in Suez, although that isn't yet affecting shipping through the Suez Canal. But what all of this means is that these protests are not going away.
The crush was intense. It was almost impossible to move. The military were passive as tens of thousands of people streamed into Tahrir Square, ignoring the Vice President's announcement that a timetable for the transition of power had been laid out, determined to keep on demonstrating.
The government was clearly hoping that the momentum would have gone out of these protests, but the crowd here today is as big as any we've seen. The people I've been speaking to say they feel secure to come to the square at the moment because there's been no violence for the past couple of days. So that leaves the regime with a dilemma: to crack down again or let it keep on growing.
Some told me it was their first visit. Only now have they plucked up the courage.
It's my first day coming. It's
Why
really
did you decide to come for the first time? Why not before?
Because before I heard it was chaos and a lot of people were getting hit and stuff, but today I actually went to express my feelings and everything.
I was not sure that I am able to come. I was somehow afraid, but I feel it's great and it's very secure.
Many were hoping for an appearance by Wael Ghonim, a Google executive and Facebook protest organizer. Last night he made an emotional appearance on TV after being released from 12 days in prison. The interviewer showed him photographs of some who were killed in the protests. He was overwhelmed. In prison, he had no idea of the size of the movement sparked by a Facebook page that he started, nor the violence of the attempt to put it down.
In Egypt, we like to make heroes. I'm not a hero. I was sleeping for 12 days. The heroes are the ones who were beaten, who were out there in the streets, the ones who sacrificed their lives. What happened to me just makes me regret that I wasn't with the people.
As a cacophony of diverse voices sounds through the square, some are touting Mr. Ghonim as a potential leader of this diffuse crowd.
We need a symbol that everyone agrees on. We need a consensus. So he's honest, he's very representative, he is very well educated.
He's a very brave man. I saw him today on the TV and I saw how he believes in this country and how he loves his country.
The leader they still haven't managed to bring down, President Mubarak, was shown meeting the foreign minister of the United Arab Emirates. His vice president left to reassure the country that there'll be no more state violence.
Mr. President has stressed that Egypt's youth deserve the country's appreciation. He ordered a refrain from prosecuting, cracking down, or confiscating their right of thought and expression.
In the late afternoon, Wael Ghonim finally entered the square to a tumultuous welcome. He said the people wouldn't leave until the government stepped down. Yesterday, he was shocked to see the power of what he helped start. Today, he may be asking, where will it end?
Wael Ghonim has just tweeted, "Dear Egyptians, failure is not an option." Human Rights Watch has just reported that 297 people have been killed in these protests. Now, the government today said that they were forming new committees to look at amending the constitution and implementing the amendments, all sorts of bureaucratic measures. None of this is going to be enough to satisfy the people in Tahrir Square tonight.
Lindsey Hilsum in Cairo.